Hello everyone, I'm Simon Asley and today I will be sharing a brief review of the book, How Feedback Works. This book helps us understand what feedback really means in teaching and how can we use it in a way that actually helps students to learn. This book is written by John Almarode, Douglas Fisher and Nancy Frey. They are well-known educators and researchers who work closely with teachers and schools. The writing is very practical and based on real classroom experiences. Today, I will review this book, highlight its key ideas, and explain why it is important for teachers, school leaders, and everyone connected in education. This book is not written in long traditional chapters. Instead, it is divided into small modules, which makes it easy to understand and read. Each module focuses on one key idea about feedback. Let me now give you a brief overview of how this book is organized and what it covers. This book has 16 short modules divided into two main parts. In part 1, the author explains what feedback actually is and what it is not. They talk about why feedback sometimes doesn't work and how students understand feedback. The difference between giving feedback and student using the feedback. The idea of feed up, feedback, and feed forward. This part helps teachers reflect on their own practices and questions some common assumption about feedback. In part 2, the focus is on how to make feedback work better in classroom. The author introduced 4 C's of feedback: care, credibility, clarity, communication. They also explain how teachers can notice student learning better, how students can give feedback to each other, and how feedback can become a regular part of learning rather than just something written on paper. Now that we have a general understanding of how this book is organized, let us look more closely at the key idea discussed in each part. Part 1. It's all about key concepts from the book. This section draws directly from the book's major modules. Very first one is what feedback actually is. The author built their definition using Merriam-Webster's phrasing. Feedback is corrective information about a process that helps improve performance when it is returned as input. This definition tells us that feedback is information, not praise. Feedback is part of a process, not an event. Feedback must be used to have an effect. So the second part is aspect of feedback, including giver, receiver, and interrogator. The book makes it extremely clear that feedback only works when 3 conditions exist. A giver, when someone or something that transmits collective information. A receiver, when someone who must actually receive the information. And then the interrogation, the receiver must use the feedback to adjust their decisions. So the author insists that feedback fails not because of teachers don't give enough, but because receivers don't interrogate it. Without interrogation, feedback is just a noise. They also emphasize that teachers receive feedback too from students and they must integrate it into decisions about instructions. This is a major conceptual shift that we can see. Feedback, it's a continuous loop. So in Module 3, we'll talk about feedback as a continuous loop. The book's central metaphor is microphone feedback loop. Just like musician must continuously adjust because sound, instrument, humidity, and audience reaction change, teacher must continuously adjust based on student responses. Therefore, there's a need to understand that feedback is not a comment on an assignment, not a single grade, not a one-time suggestion. Feedback is actually an ongoing, forming a dynamic cycle of constant adaptation. So now I will review and discuss the feed up, feedback, and feed forward model. This model is one of the most important framework in this book. Feed up, where are we going? Learning intentions and success criteria set the destination. Without this step, feedback has no anchor. What feedback is? It means where are we now? Information about progress towards the intention. It requires comparing current work against the success criteria. Feed forward, where to go next. This informs how learners and teachers adjust upcoming decisions. The author called feed forward quite important part because this is where the learning actually improves. In the next module, I'll be talking about feedback is multidimensional. Recent meta-analysis shows that feedback has an effect size of 0.62, which is not a guarantee but a strong potential. Feedback consists of multiple dimensions including reinforcement, self-feedback, technology-based feedback, timing, mode, and audience. Variation is wide. Reinforcement has effect size of 0.92, whereas self-feedback is only 0.13. So in simple words, not all feedbacks are equal. Now I will just emphasize on part 2, which is all about the 4 C's of effective feedback. The book's largest section expands on the 4 key areas, including care, credibility, clarity, and communication. These 4 conditions determine whether learners actually hear, trust, understand, and use the feedback. For instance, lack of clarity undermines all feedback because students cannot improve something that they do not understand. Credibility means students believe that teachers' feedback is worth acting on. And communication include timing, mode, amount, and audience. Moving forward, I will be talking about noticing and evidences. That's the module 9 and 10, where the author basically takes us to a journey where they explained that feedback without evidence is guesswork. The author stressed that teachers must collect and interpret timely information so learners can adjust their path forward. Teacher noticing and student noticing from a shared awareness of learning. Moving forward, the focus shifts to the peer feedback. Peer feedback works because students accept it more readily than teacher feedback. It requires students to retrieve knowledge and articulate thinking, which strengthens learning. It transfers responsibility for academic language to learners. In part 2, the book argues that feedback improves learning only when systems support giving, receiving, and integrating feedback continuously. Here's how these concepts help education system globally. They improve instructions quality, feed up, feedback, and feed forward guide teachers to give precise, timely, and meaningful information. They build learner autonomy. Students shift from passive receiver to active decision makers. They enhance equity, clear success criteria, credible feedback, and consistent communication reduce bias. They strengthen evidence-based teaching. Teachers make decisions based on timely learning evidence, not assumption. Local contexts like classroom with overcrowding, limited trainings, or resources constrained benefit even more because the feedback loop gives teacher immediate insight into what learner need next. In part 3, the author emphasized why these concepts must be in teacher training. Teacher education often emphasizes planning and delivery, but not responsive teaching. This book shows that feedback is not a side task, it is teaching. Without the 4 C's, feedback fails because it even reaches the learner. New teachers must learn how to notice, analyze, and adjust decisions. Embedding this book's framework in teacher training ensures that teachers understand unpredictably in feedback effectiveness. They know how to design success criteria. They can use feed-forward planning, and they can engage students in peer feedback response. In part 4, the author emphasized critiques and limitations. The book acknowledges several limits. Feedback is context dependent. The authors say there is no one-size-fits-all. What works in one classroom may not work in another. Feedback depends on relationship, care, and credibility vary by classroom culture. High-quality feedback requires time and training. Not all teachers have the same support system. Self-feedback is weak. The effect size of self-feedback is only 0.13, meaning students cannot be assumed to improve simply through self-reflection. Implementation is complex. Feedback only works when all 3 components, giving, receiving, integrated, happens together. Many schools emphasize giving only. To end up and to sum up, How feedback works. Remind us that feedback is not just about correcting mistake, it is about helping students understand where they are, where they need to go, and how to get there. The book encourages teachers to think carefully about how they give feedback and whether students are actually able to use it. On behalf of my group members and myself, thank you for watching. We hope this review helps you reflect on your classroom practices and inspire you to use feedback in a more meaningful and effective way. Thank you.